Bigfoot is not an animal.
We barely press record, Jess. Can you just chill?
He's either interdimensional, kick, or deliberately avoiding you.
I haven't even had a coffee yet.
And yet here we are, a 7-foot fur-covered question mark walking through national parks like he pays taxes.
Bigfoot is just a bear with PR.
Then explain the footprints that stop mid-strike.
Photoshop
Explain the FBI file.
as an FBI file.
1967. Air sample tested, filed, forgotten.
I hate this already.
Here's the thing. Bigfoot sightings spike near fault lines.
No,
Disappearances cluster.
stop.
And indigenous oral stories describe him as a protector between worlds.
I asked for one episode without portals.
You got with the wrong woman.
So what? Now the forest is haunted?
No, regulated.
By who?
That's the episode.
I knew this was a trap.
FBI files.
Still upset.
DNA that vanishes.
Classic.
Peak, tree cover, interdimensional ecology.
I miss Stargate. At least they had spreadsheets.
Oh, quick thing before Luke fully disassociates. Part 3 of Conspiracies Around the World is live on Patreon today. Power structures, forgotten players, and how one quiet country keeps showing up where history gets weird.
Suspiciously weird.
And our higher tiers, we've dropped an expose on ancient medicine,
As in herbs?
as in surgeries, psychoactive compounds, lost medical knowledge, and things that work too well to survive modern history.
That feels illegal to know.
That's why it's not on the main feed.
Let me get this straight.
Never.
We've gone 2025 news
Yes.
to ancient medicine conspiracies
Correct.
to today's a forest cryptid with boundary issues.
Welcome to the episode.
This is Mindzilla.
And Bigfoot's been waiting.
I don't like that.
Alright, now that we've established that Bigfoot's a thief with expensive taste, let's talk about what people think Bigfoot actually is.
Yes, let's for once give the audience a foundation before you accuse him of tax evasion.
Alleged tax evasion. We don't know if cryptids file. There might be a special HMRC form, self-assessment woodland entity.
Yes.
Fine. Bigfoot, the classic image, giant, 7 to 9 feet tall, covered in enough hair to make a barber whip.
The Pacific Northwest favorite blurry celebrity.
Blurriest celebrity. If Bigfoot had a IMDb page, every photo would look like someone sneezed on a lens mid-shot.
And then there's the Patterson-Gimlin film, filmed apparently on a camera powered by tremors, fear, and regret.
Honestly, how do you see a literal giant hairy beast and still manage to film it like you're falling down the stairs?
My favorite part is that people still analyze this thing frame by frame, as if one day Bigfoot's going to turn around and give a little wink to the camera.
A flirty cryptid. I support that storyline.
Anyway, most sightings say he's tall, muscular, covered in dark hair, and the smell.
Oh, yes, the forest funk. Every witness describes it like someone microwaved a wet dog in a broken caravan.
A poetic image.
Look, if you've been roaming forests for centuries, wrestling bears and avoiding park rangers, you're not smelling like lavender.
True, it's incredible. The consistency though, smell, size, scan, the whole lumbering through the trees with purpose thing.
And the noises, the whoops, the knocks, the owls that sound like someone stepping on a wolf while doing karaoke.
Jess, you can't describe cryptid communication as karaoke injuries.
I just did, and I stand by it.
So to summarize, most people think of Bigfoot as huge, hairy, whiffy, and terrible at being photographed.
Which frankly describes half the men I've dated.
Before me.
Obviously before you only whiffy on weekends, but equally hard to photograph.
Thank you, I think.
So, the stereotype, the myth, the Bigfoot you think you know, but the real story, oh, the real story goes way deeper.
Oh, of course it does.
We're diving into indigenous legends, folklore older than any GoPro, and the original story that Bigfoot borrowed his brand from.
This is where Jess gets spiritual, and I try not to offend an entire forest. Right? So, before we dive into said evidence, we need to talk about where this whole Bigfoot idea actually came from.
Yes, because despite what the internet thinks, Bigfoot didn't just burst into existence the moment two lads in 1967 filmed him marching like he was late for yoga.
History existed before shaky cameras? Who knew?
Let's start with the one of the most cited origins, Tuskit, from the She-Halis First Nation. And this wasn't just big hairy man in woods. Saskit was a spiritual guardian known for immense strength, deep wisdom, and the ability to traverse the forest without leaving a trace when he wished.
Which already sounds more dignified than the Bigfoot who allegedly threw rocks at hikers.
Exactly. And here's the bit that gets overlooked. In some of their stories, it could hear the forest almost telepathically, not in a Marvel way, in a you are one with everything living here way.
Love that. Very Zen Wookiee energy.
Now, move a bit further north, and you've got the Tsiatku from Coast Salish stories. These beings weren't just tall, they were wild, ancient, and sometimes dangerous. Some tales said that they could mimic human voices to lure people deeper into the woods.
Oh, brilliant. Bigfoot as a TikTok soundboard, but evil.
One story describes a hunter who hears his own name being called from the trees, softly, only to turn and see a towering silhouette watching him. No attack, just watching, like the forest checking in on its renters.
That is horrifying. I'm uncomfortable, thank you.
You are welcome. Then we've got the elusive Falaya from Choctaw lore, sometimes called the Shadow Stalker. Tall, thin, airy, and capable of sleeping silently between trees. Some versions say it could send thoughts into people's minds, which, yes, look, is basically psychic Bigfoot.
Of course it is. Of course you found evidence for psychic Bigfoot in a tribal mythology.
Don't blame me, blame the lore. And then there is my favorite, the Wendigo from Algonquian stories. Now, these aren't Bigfoot, don't mix them up. But early settlers absolutely did, because they didn't understand subtlety. Tall, humanoid, forest dwelling, terrifying. Settlers saw anything big and strange in the woods and went, yep, Bigfoot, monster, that'll do.
To be fair, settlers also thought tomatoes were poisonous and beavers were fish. The bar was low.
Very low. I'm sure we will get deeper into the Wendigo some other time, but all these legends, from the Guardian to Forest Shadow to the Silent Walker, they form a pattern across different nations, different landscapes. You get stories of giant humanoid forest beings who are not merely animals, but something other.
And that's actually fascinating because these stories weren't about a cryptid, they were about the relationship between humans and nature, about power, respect, fear, and mystery.
Yes, Bigfoot, the modern pop culture cryptid, is basically a dumbed down remix of incredibly rich ancient spiritual lore. It's like the Hollywood reboot of a legend that once meant something very profound.
So when people say Bigfoot is made up, what they really mean is I don't understand thousands of years of storytelling.
Exactly. And if you take those stories seriously, really seriously, some of them hint at beings who could fade in and out of sight, appear suddenly and disappear even faster.
Oh, here we go. This is the doorway where Jess tries to drag me into interdimensional Bigfoot land.
I'm not dragging you. I'm simply holding the door open while mysterious footsteps echo from the other side.
You're impossible.
Correct. But truly, these ancient stories shift how we think about Bigfoot. He's not just a creature, he's a presence, a guardian, a shadow, a warning, something tied to the land before forest rangers and blurry camcorders.
Well, now I feel like I should apologize to a tree.
You should, but first, let's get chaotic again. Because now we reach more modern times and have the evidence. Footprints, hair samples, audio recordings, and a man named Todd who is absolutely convinced Bigfoot stole his bait bucket.
Todd needs a hug.
He won't take it. He says Uggs attract the creature. Also, he smells very fishy.
Christ. All right, Jess, we've done the legends, we've done the lore. Now, please tell me you have actual evidence.
Look, darling, sometimes I wonder if you know me at all. Welcome to the evidence file, a section I like to call science but make it suspicious.
This is going to give me a headache.
Yes, and I'm thrilled. Let's start with footprints because Bigfoot loves leaving a size 18 dramatic stomp print everywhere.
If I were 8 feet tall, I'd also walk around like I own the place.
Right, but here's the wild part. Some of the most famous casts have featured that hoaxers never think about. Thermal ridges, basically big toe fingerprints, mid-tarsal breaks, which humans don't have, weight distribution patterns of something genuinely huge.
So, not just a bloke in Primark slippers.
Exactly. Hoaxers love exaggeration. Giant clown feet, weird toe angles, nonsense. But these look like an animal that evolved to move differently than us.
Okay, annoyingly convincing.
Then we have the hair. Bigfoot hair turns up everywhere like glitter after a endo. But here's what's fun. Labs keep getting samples that fall into the unknown primate category.
Meaning,
Meaning it's not human, not bear, not dog, not cow, not deer, and we're going to pretend we didn't see this.
classic science move. If I can't explain it, I'm going home.
Some samples have unusual medulla patterns, longer cuticles, fibers strained closer to apes than local mammals.
I'm sorry, why do you suddenly sound like you work at a lab?
Because I've spent too long on Reddit. Then there is the audio. People record these sounds in the woods that are not wolves, not bears, not humans, not anything.
Great, I hate this already.
The famous Ohio owl shriek so deep and resonant that audio analysts said that throat size is concerning.
Concerning is not a measurement.
It is when you're dealing with a creature that could bench press a Toyota. And then there is the samurai chatter recordings. Bigfoot vocalizations that sound like two giants arguing in a made up language.
So Bigfoot is bilingual?
Bilingual, probably married, and possibly arguing about directions. Okay, let's talk about the big one, the Holy Grail, the shaky cam masterpiece, the 1967 Patterson Gimlin film. Oh, yes, the Beyonce of cryptid videos.
Beyonce?
Iconic, debated, untouchable, walks with purpose, you know.
Fair.
Here's why scientists still argue over this clip. The arm length is inhuman. The muscle definition under the hair shouldn't be possible in a costume from the 60s. The gait analysis, it screams non-human primate.
And yet, every time I watch it, part of me thinks it's just a bloke who forgot leg day.
That's because you're British. You trained to doubt joy. I'm not skipping this one. The poop evidence.
Oh god.
People have sent in samples of large, mysterious droppings containing berries, animal protein, roughage, and things no known primates should be digesting.
Didn't realize we were doing a forensic podcast.
Everything is evidence when you commit hard. People describe the same features over and over. Broad shoulders, long arms, human-like intelligence, non-human movement, the smell. Most sightings come with a description like rotting sweet corn wrapped in wet dog. That's a Bigfoot's calling card.
So you're telling me Bigfoot smells like a student flat?
Exactly.
So footprints, hair, audio, blurry film, and poo.
Science.
You know what? Against my will, this was convincing.
Good, because now is where we talk about why people still see Bigfoot and what that means.
Brilliant, because I wasn't anxious enough already. Right, so we've covered the legend, the footprints, the noise, that hair that turned up out to be from a dog named Fluffy. Here's the real question. Why are people still seeing Bigfoot?
Because he's real.
Okay, but no. Let me just have one science moment before you drag me into the bush again.
I would never drag you into a bush without consent. Also, you absolutely believe a little.
I believe in staying on the path.
Here's the wild part, look. Sightings didn't stop in the 60s or 70s. They've gone up.
Because everyone has a camera now and apparently no one knows how to use the autofocus.
But the consistency is what gets me. Just these past decades, hunters reporting 8-foot silhouettes shadowing them, campers hearing chest thumps from tree to tree, drivers seeing something cross the road with 2 legs in 3 steps.
3 steps, that's not a walk, that's a Marvel character.
Exactly. And half of these sightings come from people who don't want attention, like farmers, hikers, rangers, people who know the difference between a bear and something wrong. Here's an idea that humans are wired to recognize faces and shapes on the edge of our vision. It's a survival instinct, it's ancient. But what's fascinating is how many people report the same shape, the same movement pattern.
So you think our brains are seeing something real but just can't compute it.
Exactly. Like your brain goes big monkey, but your soul goes nope, not on a list, run.
That's how I feel about your skincare routine.
Here's the surprising part. Studies show most people who report sightings are not conspiracy nuts. They are sober, outdoorsy, trained in animal behavior, and familiar with the land.
So, the exact group of people least likely to mistake a squirrel for a forest demon.
Right. If Karen from suburbia squints at the bush, fine. But when a park ranger with 23 years of wildlife experience says, I saw something I cannot explain, you kinda listen.
You're saying the witnesses aren't flaky, the phenomena is.
Here's where I get sentimental. People want Bigfoot to be real because he represents something we've lost mystery, wonder, a bit of wilderness that hadn't been bulldozed into a Starbucks.
I guess I can see why.
Imagine Bigfoot in a Starbucks. 8 foot tall, ordering a caramel macchiato, holding up the queue because he forgot his reusable cup.
Now I want that to be real.
Here's where it gets eerie. A lot of people who encounter something don't report it at all. Not to Bigfoot groups, not to the internet, not to anyone.
Why?
Because they're scared people will think they've lost the plot, or, and this is the creepy bit, because the thing they saw wasn't just big, it was wrong. Features they can't describe, movements that don't match any animal, eyes that seem too aware.
Okay, stop. I don't like when you go to the soft voice. I mean, you're about to say something that ruins camping forever.
That's the point. People are still seeing Bigfoot because there is something out there. Maybe not an ape, maybe not a man, maybe something in between. A relic species, a primate cousin, a forest intelligence we haven't named yet. Or my favorite, something that sees us more clearly than we see it.
Right, brilliant. I'll be sleeping with the light on.
Don't worry, Bigfoot doesn't want you. Too much beard competition.
Low blow. Okay, Jess, your eyes are doing the thing again. The Bigfoot isn't just a mammal thing.
Because he isn't.
Here we go.
First case, footprints that stop. Like someone took an eraser to reality. Hikers find a trackway, big prints, heavy prints, proper this lad had quad prints, and then 3 steps later, nothing. No dragging, no turning, no jump marks, just gone.
Right, so he either teleports or has the world's strongest calves.
Or, and this is the theory I know you'll hate, it's like something steps in and out of our world.
Fantastic. Bigfoot is now a timeshare resident of the multiverse.
Then there is the glowing eyes. And before you say bears reflect light, these reports happen in places with no artificial light sources at all. People describe eyes shine in red, orange, or white, floating 8 to 10 feet off the ground, moving with intelligence.
Brilliant. Bigfoot's got headlights.
Some witnesses say the eyes just don't glow. They emit light, like little torches, which is biologically not a thing.
Jess, no animal has built in torches. That's not biology, that's a gadget.
Bigfoot is Gadget Man confirmed. I wonder if he also is the inspiration for Inspector Gadget.
Oh, this is the bit I've been dreading.
For good reason. Some people claim Bigfoot communicates through telepathy.
No,
They call it mind speak. He sends emotions, ideas, warnings, sometimes even full sentences straight into your head.
that's not a cryptid.
Witnesses said they're overwhelmed with this sudden feeling of leave now. Not shouted, not heard, just implanted.
So Bigfoot is a forest Alexa. Maybe is their subconscious telling them it's time to go?
Let's talk about the orbs now. In a weird number of sightings, people see glowing orbs floating around before Bigfoot appears.
So Bigfoot has special effects now.
Or the orbs are connected to him. Some people think they're probes, energy forms, dimensional bleed through, or Bigfoot version of a doorbell.
Imagine that. Ding dong, your interdimensional primate has arrived.
Exactly. This next one is terrifying. In the 1970s, the Robertson family claimed their cabin was surrounded by something massive, multiple somethings. They saw silhouettes moving tree to tree. They heard whoops, knocks, heavy breathing.
Heavy breathing, so Bigfoot crank calls too.
The weirdest bit? They said the creature threw rocks the size of bowling balls.
Oh good, they do CrossFit.
When the family eventually fled, they realized the ground around the property was covered in prints. But again, the tracks would start and stop in impossible ways, like the creatures were phasing in and out.
Nope, shut it down and burn the house.
Some researchers talk about cloaking, Bigfoot that can go invisible.
Oh, piss off.
I'm serious. Some people describe seeing shimmering outlines, predator style distortion, heatwave ripples in the shape of something huge.
So Bigfoot is now a Marvel character and a Predator villain.
If Disney ever buys the rights, yes, these encounters aren't about an undiscovered ape. They're about something stranger, something that doesn't follow our rules. Biology shouldn't glow. Primates shouldn't disappear. Footprints shouldn't end mid step. No mammal should place ideas in your head.
Unless it's a toddler.
Look, I'm saying Bigfoot might not be a creature, it might be a phenomenon.
Stop. You're right at the edge of a TED talk and I am not emotionally prepared.
So you're definitely not ready for this next bit I have for you. The grand unidentified Bigfoot theory, where I connect all the madness, the footprints, the glowing eyes, the disappearing hats, the screaming, the telepathy, into one coherent conspiracy.
You can't possibly make this coherent.
Challenge accepted. Strap in. Because after wading through a century of footprints, dodgy fur swabs, missing hikers, interdimensional portals, horny apes, government cover ups, and the world's most determined cryptid fandom, I am finally ready. This is my Bigfoot mega theory. Look, stop rolling your eyes. This one actually makes sense. And yes, I have diagrams. They're mental, but they're diagrams. So here's where everyone gets Bigfoot wrong. They're all trying to pin him down onto one explanation, one creature, one species, one origin story. But Bigfoot is not a single thing. Bigfoot is like a syndrome, a collection of related phenomena that all get jammed under the same hairy umbrella. Is the Tesco value branding of cryptids. Everything gets tossed in the trolley and labeled Bigfoot. Allow me to present my threefold mega theory of Sasquatch reality. This is the boring one, so I'm giving it to you first to ease you in. There is a flesh and blood hominid species out there. Not thousands, not a colony doing CrossFit, just enough to survive in deep wilderness pockets. Gigantopithecus descendant disappeared over 300,000 years ago, but did they? They did overlap with the Asian Homo erectors. So, who to say there isn't some descendant still around? Right, orangutangish forest giant. Extremely solitary. No interest in human contact, smells worse than your gym shoes in August. These are the creatures responsible for the Patterson-Gimlin type sightings, consistent footprints with thermal ridges, the woodnocks and owls recorded in remote regions, occasional air samples that match nothing in known fauna databases. This is the baseline Bigfoot, the physical one.
The classic. This one alone does not explain the glowing eyes disappearing into thin air. My car battery died when it walked past type sighting.
Which brings us to Mega Theory Pillar 2, the interdimensional crossover entity. Look, stay with me. Some sightings are too weird to belong to a simple ape thing. I'm talking about the Bigfoot that flickers like a hologram, leaves footprints that stop abruptly mid-trail, walks between trees and is suddenly gone, appears near hotspots of UFO activity, seems to be telepathically communicating. This category of Bigfoot is not a creature, is a glitch, a leakage, a visitor. Think of the forest as having thin spots, areas where dimensions overlap. Bigfoot is one of the beings that occasionally slips through. It's not here to hunt. It's not here to breathe, not here to Instagram the trees. It just passes through. Like when you flick the wrong light switch and accidentally activate the extraction fan. These cases create the high strangeness reports, keeps the conspiracy boards driving, and keeps Luke sighing deeply.
You always manage to numb me into near submission each episode.
I know. Just hold on. I'm nearly finished. This is the last one. Mega Theory Pillar 3. The Human Shadow. This is where I go Jungian. Bigfoot is also a projection of the human psyche. Not in the he isn't real way, but in our mind filled the gaps way. Why, you ask?
I don't think anyone asked, but go on.
Because the wilderness is terrifying. Humans aren't built for it anymore. Take away TikTok, plumbing, the Deliveroo, and suddenly every branch looks like a monster. Oaks, misidentified bears, costume junkies, and sheer panic filled the legend. But here's the key. The legend only sticks because Bigfoot represents something ancient in us. The primal watcher in trees, the reminder that we are not the kings of nature, we just snacks with opinions. This explains the thousands of sightings that contradict each other, the reports from areas with zero habitat like suburban back gardens, the blurry photos because human panic under pressure, and the YouTubers who are clearly just bored. And that brings it to the end of it. Let's summarize it for all the disassociating fellows, including you, Luke. Bigfoot exists, but not as one thing. He is either or all of the following: a real biological species, extremely rare, a paranormal or interdimensional visitor popping in for the vibes, a human mythic projection fueling the rest. All three intertwine into the cultural monster we call Bigfoot. And that's why the mystery has lasted centuries, because nobody looking at the full picture. Your move. If you say it's just a bear, I will personally glue fake hair to your legs and force you to run through the woods until someone reports a sighting.
Yes, I need you to stop for a second, okay? Stop. I am trying to process and my brain is on strike.
Take your time, love. No rush. Absorb the mega theory.
Absorb Absorb what? A creature that is simultaneously a giant ape, a dimensional visitor, our collective psychological trauma.
Yes, that is precisely it. Bigfoot is multi layered. We're talking archetypal cryptid onion.
An onion that smells like wet corn and dog hair.
Exactly, you get it.
Let's just list the problems, shall we? Telepathic Bigfoot? Check. Interdimensional phasing? Check. Biologically impossible glowing eyes? Check. Cultural projection? Check. You want me to believe all three mega theories exist at the same time?
Yes, that is the point.
I don't even know if I believe in reality anymore. What do I look at? The tree, the shadow, your hair?
All equally valid sources of data.
I am not equipped. I am not prepared. I am too old for this. And another thing, you keep talking about people's experiences, the glowing eyes, the vanishing footprints, the telepathy. Jess, you're enjoying this. You're literally gleeful about a creature that might exist just to scare me.
That is love and science.
No, it's not. It's cruel. Pure cruelty. Why are my knees shaking? Why do I feel like I need to climb into a tent and hide from a 9-foot forest guardian who may or may not be telepathically judging me?
Because the forest is alive, and Bigfoot knows. He's the primal part of us we've ignored. And yes, he's judging your posture.
I hate this. I hate everything. How can you be someone who delights in the madness?
By drinking coffee, surrounded by fake forest ambience and learning.
I hate you.
And Bigfoot loves you too. He's just shy.
I don't feel loved. I feel hunted.
Okay, look, here's the takeaway. Bigfoot may exist on multiple planes. He may be biological, he may be paranormal, he may be entirely in our heads.
Great. So he's my mother in law?
Exactly, but taller, hairier, and with better judgment.
I'm going to need a drink.
We have a drink, and I brought marshmallows because you will be camping soon.
Jess, don't even joke.
I'm not joking. Bigfoot approves. Well, we've stomped through the woods, walked in footprints bigger than a small car, dodged glowing eyes, debated telepathic communication, and survived Luke's complete emotional breakdown.
Still feel like I'm being watched.
That's because you probably are. Bigfoot's judgment never ends. But here's the key takeaway. Whether you see him as a biological relic, an interdimensional visitor, or a projection of our collective fears, Bigfoot matters.
He matters because he ruins camping trips and gives me existential dread.
Yes, but also because he reminds us that mystery still exists, that the world isn't fully explainable, that wonder, awe, and a little terror are alive in the forest, and maybe in our own backyard.
All right, that's fair. I'll allow it.
So, if you're walking in the woods this week, remember, look for footprints, listen for the owls, and respect your 8-foot forest neighbor, even if he's just a ghost in the trees. And speaking of mysteries, if you thought Bigfoot was elusive, wait until we dive into the dark, twisted, mind bending world of CIA secret projects again.
Basically, Bigfoot was the warm up act, and now we're going full on. We might actually be losing the plot mode.
Exactly. Next episode, we'll end the CIA trilogy of factual terror. While Bigfoot might be a figure of our imagination, this is scarily real, which is so much worse. And if you thought your brain was safe before, think again.
Great. I'll be hiding under the table.
Perfect. And to our listeners, thank you for sticking through Footprint, Glowing Eyes, and Luke's Panic. Follow us in our social media link below. Subscribe to our Patreon to help me induce existential dreads to my co-host weekly.
Until next time, keep looking, keep questioning, and keep a healthy fear of the woods. Bye.
Bye.